Today's class is a feel-good class aiming for tension release, but also that certain energy boost that we're looking forward to in our days. So this practice is really great to do at any time in your day when you feel that you need a little boost of energy. When you're ready, let's jump onto the mat and start in a wide-legged child's pose with your big toes connecting and the knees as wide as your mat. Let's begin. All right, once you have found your seat in child's pose, take your hands forward towards the top of the mat and then release your head down. If your head doesn't quite make it, use a bolster or a block or anything you have ready to support your head so that you can completely relax your forehead on something so that you don't have to keep the tension in your neck. And once you have found your child's pose that you want to be in for a couple of breaths, really feel that little stretch in the shoulders. Let your elbows relax. Let your fingers be soft. And then take a deep breath in and feel that breath traveling all the way down into the lower back. With an exhale, completely release. Let go. Let's do that again. Big breath in all the way down from the crown of the head down into the tailbone, the lower back. And with an exhale, you might even sigh it out, release and let go. 1, 2, 3 more times on your own. Big inhale. Releasing, exhale out. Awesome. Let's do one more together. Big breath in here. And long breath out. Take your time to get into your tabletop position, drawing the hands up underneath the shoulders, bringing the knees in underneath the hips, pointing the toes back in line with the knees. Gentle bend here in the elbows. Taking a moment to get accustomed with this pose. So we're not dumping the weight into the shoulder blades. Try and draw the shoulder blades up so they create a little dome shape here. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Tops of the toes are pressing down into the mat. And then you're also trying to engage your belly button, drawing it up towards the spine. From here, we're going to begin sending the left leg long back, tucking the toes under, and then just beginning to rock a little bit up and down, finding that little stretch in the backside of your left leg into the calf muscle here. Just pushing yourself gently forward and back, also feeling that in your wrists. Warming up through the hands. Just a couple more times here. Keep that awareness of pushing the shoulder blades upward and drawing your navel up towards the ceiling or the sky. All right, from here, we're going to turn that right foot to face off the long side of the mat on the right, and then pivot your left heel down. Make the toes point towards the top long side in front of you now, and then set the arch down to meet in exactly the same height as your right knee. Left arm reaches up overhead, and then you reach your left arm all the way up and over towards the front of the mat. You want to create a long opening space in the left side body here. Keep pushing into that right arm, avoiding to collapse into that right shoulder. You could always take any movement into your left wrist here, maybe open and close your hand. And then see if you can actually pick up your nose and gaze up towards the left hand, drawing that left shoulder a little bit more back, so really creating space around your heart and your chest here. Let's take one more breath, push into the outer edge of that left foot, and release, come back. Set your left hand down, just come back into that neutral tabletop position. One round cat-cow here. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Find that expansion throughout the front body. As you exhale, draw the navel to the spine, chin tucks in towards the chest. Push your shoulder blades up and away from each other. And coming back into a neutral tabletop position. We'll do the other side right away. Take your right foot, tuck it under, and send it back. Begin to rock forward and back here, getting into that stretch of the backside on your right leg. Keep your fingertips pushing down into the ground. Elbows are gently bent here. Just 2-3 more times like this. And then repeating the same sequence on the other side. So sway your left shin off the mat so the toes are pointing off behind you. And then take your right foot with the arch in line with the left knee. Left arm reaches up overhead, pushing into that outer right foot. You want to create length from the fingertips all the way to that outer right foot here. And then maybe taking any movement into the right hand. Keep remembering to not collapse into the left shoulder. Lots of stuff going on here, I know. If you're able and your neck is fine, go ahead and peel up your nose so that you can look up at your right hand. And then see if you can even open your heart up a little bit more towards the ceiling. Let's take one more full breath in here. And as we exhale, return back into your tabletop position. One more time, cat and cow. Inhale, lift the gaze, shoulders roll back, shoulder blades squeeze. Find that extension, crown of the head to the tailbone. As we exhale, rounding the spine, really pushing everything that connects to the mat down and away from you. Inhale, coming back into a neutral tabletop position. Set your hands up a little bit further, tuck the toes under, get ready for downward facing dog here. In your down dog, take a moment to just pedal your heels, finding that length in the backs of the legs together now. Pushing your hands firmly into the ground, allowing the shoulders to rotate outwards so that you have a lot of space to move your neck freely. And then finding that bend in the knees that you need to allow the spine to lengthen as you push your chest towards the thighs. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Find length. Feel that stretch in the backs of the legs. Neck is relaxed. Gaze is gently back towards the feet. Good. From here, let's roll onto the outer right edge of the foot and the arch of the left foot, turning your knees towards the left side. So your hips are pushing over, or your bum is pushing over to the right side. And then bend into your knees and push your chest back. Feeling a deeper stretch in the outer left side body. And then coming through center, going over to the other side. Keep doing that a couple of times on your own. Always bending the knees, rolling to the edges of the feet and the arch of the feet, and then pushing the hips back. You should feel the temperature within rising gently as you do this. Keep going. Just 2-3 more times here. Good. Let's do one more to each side. Last one off to the left. And return back into your downward facing dog. Awesome job, everyone. From here, gaze up towards the top of the mat and then just take your feet up in little steps all the way towards the top of the mat. Hip width distanced here. Gentle bend in the knees if you need to. Relaxing your head, your shoulders. Let everything hang heavy towards the floor. Maybe rocking a couple of times back and forth on your feet. Finding that even distribution of your weight throughout all the four corners of your feet. You might want to grab onto the outer edges of the elbows here. Finding ragdoll pose. Allowing the lower back to completely relax. Little sway side to side. Making sure that your weight is shifting a little bit more into the toes so that the heels are light. Good. Releasing the fingertips back down to the ground. Now go ahead and bring your big toes to touch. Keep a little bit of space between your heels. Bend your knees generously so that your belly begins to connect to the top of the thighs. From here, we're going to reach the arms forward and lift the gaze, lift the spine, lift the chest, coming into Utkatasana, chair pose. Now your inner thighs are squeezing towards each other. Fingertips are really reaching up towards the diagonal top of your room. Navel draws to the spine, lower back is nice and long, shoulders are relaxed. You might even want to turn your palms facing up so that you give your shoulders a little bit more space here. Let's take another breath in. And as we exhale, keep your knees bent. Just take your hands behind your lower back, interlace. Left thumb comes on top. From here, dive back down into your forward fold and lift your arms up overhead. Beautiful. Big breath in here. Full breath out. Rebending the knees and the elbows, release the fingertips back down to the ground. Separate your feet back to a hip-width distance. And then from here, halfway lift, slide your hands up the fronts of the shins. Lift your spine, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. From here, we're going to step the left foot back only as long as you can still ground the whole foot down, preparing for pyramid pose. Both feet are pointing straight towards the front of the mat, so the inner arches are parallel to each other. Now your right knee stays gently bent and you begin to press the feet away from each other. Lift the gaze. Maybe you need blocks to support you here so that you can lengthen the spine. And then you want to make sure that your right hip is pushing back and your left front hip crease is pushing towards the front, while the big toes are really gripping firmly down into the mat at the same time. Now from here, let's take a big breath in with a long spine. And then as you exhale, allow your upper back to round, bringing your nose in closer towards that right leg. Breathing here, keep the awareness in the feet, pressing down and away from each other. One more breath, you're doing great. And then lifting up halfway again, bend your right knee gently and step your left leg long back so that you end up in a lunge position. Left hand stays on the ground as we inhale, right arm reaches up into your easy twist. Same here as in the pyramid pose. Pull your right hip back and push your left hip forward and down to the ground, rebending deep into that right knee. Big breath in here. Now from here, we want to go into wild thing. So plant your left hand down. Again, pivot onto the outer edge of that left foot. And then go ahead and step your right foot behind your left leg. The left leg stays straight. And we push up the hips. The right knee is bent here. Your gaze going up towards that right hand. Big breath in here. Big heart opening pose. One more inhale. And as we exhale, listen closely. Right hand comes down onto the mat. We pivot back onto the toes of that left foot. The right knee is underneath our belly. And then from here, we pivot onto the inner arch of that left foot now. Left hand releases and the right foot, pushes out in front of you for star pose. Big inhale here, hips push up, push into the outer edge of that left foot. Just one more inhale. And as we exhale, plant your left hand down, step your right leg back, set it up for plank pose. Just one vinyasa in this flow, knees down, chest and chin down. Inhale, belly connects to the mat, untuck the toes, lift up into cobra, elbows squeeze back alongside the body. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale out. One more time, in through the nose. Open your mouth, exhale out. One more, in through the nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Beautiful. Gazing up towards the top of the mat. Bring your feet all the way up into your forward fold again. Halfway lift here, flat back. As we exhale, plant your hands down. Connect your big toes. Prepare for chair pose. Bend your knees generously. Belly connects to the thighs. As we inhale, arms sweep forward and up. Shoulders relax, maybe turning your palms again to face upward. And then sit nice and deep into your chair here. Shoulders relax, face is soft. Go ahead and give yourself a little smile here. You're doing awesome. Let's take another breath in. And as we exhale, release the hands behind your lower back, this time right thumb on top. And as we exhale, diving back down into the forward fold, arms up overhead. Big breath in here. And as we exhale, rebend the knees and the elbows, release the hands, fingertips down to the mat, separate your feet to hip width distance. Inhale, one more time, halfway lift. This time as we exhale, plant the hands down, step your right leg back into your pyramid pose. Make sure both heels are still connected and the toes are facing forward to the top of the mat. Pressing firmly into the feet here. Lengthen your spine. You might have to come up onto the fingertips or use those blocks again. Little bend in the left knee stays. Big toes are pressing down. Feet pushing away from each other as we allow the upper back to round and bring the nose closer in towards that left standing leg. Big inhale here. Feel the stretch in the back of that left leg. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out. Lift your torso up halfway again. Gently bend the left knee as you step the right leg long back. Right hand stays on the mat as we inhale. Left arm reaches up for easy twist. Breathing in here, finding length in your spine, really lifting that right heel off the mat. Engaging through the legs. Right hand plants down as we prepare for our wild thing. Right edge of the foot, pinky side edge of the foot pivots down. And then your left leg steps around and back, keeping the right leg straight. Push your hips up. Gaze towards that left hand. Big inhale here. Big heart opening pose, strong pose. One more time, breathe in. Exhale out. And here we go, preparing for start pose. Left hand comes back down. Pivot back onto the toes of that left foot. Left knee pulls in towards the chest. And then come onto the inner arch of the right foot as the left foot reaches out and the right arm releases. Finding star pose. Big inhale here. Full exhale out. And then releasing that right hand back down to the mat. Step your left foot back. Find your plank pose. Choose to vinyasa or not. Knees, chest, chin down. We all meet in downward facing dog. Inhale to cobra. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Taking a few rounds of breath here. You can repeat nose in, mouth out. Or you can just breathe in and out of your nose. Remember to keep the fingers spread wide. Shoulders relaxed, neck is relaxed. Pushing your chest back towards your thighs, allowing the spine to lengthen. One more inhale here. Exhale out. Lifting the heels up, take your left leg all the way up into the air. And then as you exhale, bend the left knee, bring it forward and connect the left knee behind the left wrist. Preparing for pigeon pose. Sliding the right foot back as far as you need. Making sure your hip bones are both facing towards the front edge of your mat. So trying to stay symmetrical here in your pigeon pose. We don't have to push that right hip all the way down to the ground. Shoulders are relaxed, gaze is forward. Relax your neck. When you're ready to come deeper into this pose, you might be able to connect your forearms down onto the mat. Keep a nice flexion in the left foot, especially if you're dealing with any injuries or past injuries in your knees. We're here for 3 more breaths. You can choose to stay here, or if you're able to lower all the way down to the ground, go ahead and feel free to do so. Big hip opening here. So stay with your breath. Observe how the air is traveling in and out through the nostrils. Make your way back up. Plant your hands. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your left leg up and back into downward facing dog. Just noticing how your left and right side feel right now. And then we're going to sweep the right leg up into the air. Bend the knee, bring it forward, place it behind the right wrist. Send that left leg long back. Make sure your toes are pointing straight back. And then already you can flex into that right foot, lengthening through the spine, finding the hip bones facing both towards the front of the mat. When you're ready, lower down onto your forearms. Always creating that length in the spine. You can stay here or join me for 3 more breaths in any version of this pigeon pose that suits your body right now. Checking in with your jaw, make sure there is no tension that you create, grinding the teeth or clenching the jaw. Allow your facial muscles to relax and the breath to travel in and out of the nose smoothly. Last inhale here. Exhale out. Coming back into our last downward dog of this class. Tuck your back toes under, send the right leg back. Maybe you can already notice a difference from your first down dog to this one. And then go ahead and lower your knees down onto the mat. We're going to come into hero pose. So I'll show you from this side first. You can sit on your heels, trying to keep the big toes next to each other, inner thighs connected, and then just resting your hands gently on your thighs. You might even open up your palms. Close your eyes down, connecting to that energy that we've created in just a few minutes, noticing how the whole body feels more alive, how we feel ready for whatever life throws at us today. All right, blink your eyes back open. And now you can choose to either stay in hero's pose, or maybe you want to change your seat, or you want to even lie down for a short gratitude meditation. Gratitude meditation is a simple way of practicing meditation, contemplation, and concentration, because all you need to do is bring your awareness to things or people that you're thankful for in your life. So today I invite you to join me for a short guided gratitude meditation. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll your shoulders up to the ears, drop them back and down. Make sure that you move in any way that you need to. If you're lying down on the mat, you might even want to stretch yourself out once more. And then go ahead and find the most comfortable position that you can remain in stillness for the next few minutes. And then allow your eyes to gently close. When you're ready, begin to bring your awareness to your breath. Take a long, slow breath in and exhale even slower. Take another long, full inhale and exhale out. Keep your attention on the inhale and exhale for a few more rounds on your own. Now bring your attention to 3 things you're grateful for in your life right now. It can be whatever first comes to mind. Could be a person, a pet, a place, an experience, a meal you enjoyed, or simply the sunshine. Just 3 things that you are deeply thankful for. The ability to be grateful, even for the simplest of things, can be completely life-changing and turn your day around if you've started on a bad foot. Now let the next breath in be the deepest you've taken so far. Breathe in all the way to the top. Pause here. And as you exhale, maybe open your mouth and let it go. Beautiful.